are ready. John Jr. So the Morganton, North Carolina, looking for that first victory against John Gant.
Once again, Gant has to win, even though we see 2 championships on his profile. Those were championship years back, and when he gave up his touring status, he gave up his right to the Tournament of Champions despite those titles. So he must win.
26 strike for John Gant. Ken McNeely, watch this style.
Tell you what, this style has brought him a 270 average on a championship pair over 5 days, as he's bowled 269, 298, and 245. So let's see what it can do under the gun for the big bucks.
All right. Cradling that ball like he's afraid somebody's going to steal it.
You're right, Chris. He's got it protected, much like Larry Lichstein of years past. But he has a great cupped wrist action. Really can't see how good his wrist. And despite all this style, he's in perfect position on the pivot step. Pulls out of the shot just a pinch early. But if he can stay down with the shot, he is devastating. And he was strong when he needed it in the final few games last night.
So the 27-year-old from the Appalachian Mountains in Morganton, North Carolina, only his 8th national tournament.
I like it, Chris. I really like it. He was entertaining last night. I followed him around as kind of like John Daly's entertaining maybe on the golf tour despite his style. See if he can put it on the buzzsaw, who's been there before.
But he just won't go away.
Well, that big strike ball.
That is a great bowler.
Yes, he is. That big strike ball pays dividends as he gets a terrific break with the head pin going to sideboard and tripping out to 3. Years back, no matter how much power you had until the reactive resin balls and the double voided pins, and when I say double void, there's holes actually in the center of bowling pins, you could have not tripped that shot out. So Gant, the benefactor of modern technology. We'll call that a technology strike. Let's see if he can take advantage of it.
3 in a row, and the way they whip it, chiropractors are often on the scene. 2 here this week.
Large hand. Look at him stretch it out over 5 inches of the surface of the ball, cups it in the bottom, sets that index finger out, and then rolls that wrist under and actually supports it on the forearm. If you can do that, you can get tremendous power on the ball.
Oh, yes. 6-footer, 164 pounds.
Well, it's an entertaining match, Chris, and one of your great fans is Fran Schenkel, back at home on the mend. I wish her best in Florida as you look at the father of Blaine McNeely. And so, Fran, I'm with your husband here, and he says, get well, honey, and I'll be home tonight.
Blue eyes.
Your favorite. Match all even. Both players perfect through 3 frames. Oh.
Pesky 7. Plagued all the bowlers this afternoon.
Well, you're right, Chris. And no matter what angle of attack they take to the pocket, as you see a wide shot here, he's playing the big hook like Gant. No matter what angle of attack, even if it's a 6 degrees like this, you still can't drive that 7 out constantly or consistently. And now the key is to make it. Ooh. All right.
So the final match is underway. 1 pin separating these 2 pros. We'll be back. In a row, 4th frame. Oh, yeah.
Nobody's gone from the number 4 position. Very first match and run the table this year. Buzzsaw in a position to do that, has 11-pin lead. However, the number 1 seeds, as you can see, the Rock, Spalding, D'Entremont, and Alexander have made it 4-4 for the number 1 seeds all year long. So the jury's still out on this match, and it will definitely tilt the scales one way or another.
The bucket.
Can't whip it too wide. Ball got out to about the third board, about real deep, as we call it on the lane, about 50 feet down the lane, and he hangs on to leave the bucket, and he needs to get this ball in this area and carry out the 9-pin. And for the buzzsaw, he's going to watch he doesn't chop that 5.
Oh, I love looking at this crowd, this audience. Who bowls in America? Well, this is a cross-section of the people that bowl. There are doctors here. There are truck drivers, businessmen. They all bowl.
And women, Chris. I like to watch them bowl.
Mm-hmm. Youngsters as well. Ooh. Good break.
Well, Ken's kept that ball around the pocket. I tell you, I admire these young men. The ability to come out here, never been in this situation, and be on the attack. You have the 6'8" standing temporarily. We've seen John Gant leave that in a pivotal situation in the previous match. He recovered from that. Once again, McNeely breaks it down. Oh! And you cannot miss spares, Chris. Eric Forkel last week, our tournament leader, missed the 7-pin in the early going. Here's the one flaw we have picked up in his style. He gets up a little too quickly. See, he raises up. That ball comes off his hand and bounces in the lane and doesn't take the bite in the proper direction. And as I was saying once before, last week Forkel missed the 7-pin the same way, and it was the difference in the match. Let's see if it costs McNeely.
Comes right back. As a 4-year-old at Mimosa Lanes in Morganton, North Carolina, he started because his father works there, and his dad still manages the 16-lane house in Morganton, Bo.
Started at age 4, and boy, is he a little ticked off at his performance on that 9-pin. Gant zeroed on the right-hand lane. He can just slam the door on this young man if he can really conquer this left-hand lane. He's been a little high and light, so if he's going to make a mistake, it would be somewhere in the 7th or 9th frame. 7th coming up. He leads by 19.
34,000 to the winner, 18,000 to the runner-up.
Well, this young man has a few reminders on his shoes to keep him posted on what is happening up here. He says, follow through on the right shoe and stay low on the left. And he's only made one mistake, and he didn't stay low in one frame, and that was an open. So let's see if he follows his own advice. Here we go. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Chris. You got to look down at the approach to see where you're standing and have a little reminder there.